Here's what you missed from Glaucoma 360. Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carey Powers, and we are here at the Glaucoma 360 New Horizons Forum, and we're capturing exclusive interviews with leaders and brilliant minds shaping the next generation of glaucoma treatment and technology. I'm excited to welcome two brilliant glaucoma specialists who are redefining what it means to deliver personalized interventional glaucoma care. Dr. Sahar Bedrood, a fellowship-trained glaucoma and cataract surgeon at Advanced Vision Care in Los Angeles, and Dr. Courtney Bovee, a Harvard fellowship-trained glaucoma specialist serving patients in the Tampa Bay area. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Today, you are both part of a panel on innovating drugs and drug delivery. In recent years, all the rage has been around interventional glaucoma. But here at Glaucoma 360, we heard a lot of excitement about some new pharmaceuticals in the pipeline as well. So, Dr. Bedrood, what are some innovations that are most intriguing to you?
Our session was incredible. It talked about different modalities of innovative drug delivery. One was an oral, a pill that was derived from caviar, which I thought was really fascinating, something we haven't heard of before. Kind of maybe combining nutraceuticals, supplements, and maybe pharmaceuticals together, and to helping kind of anti-inflammatory effects seen in glaucoma. I thought that was most interesting because it was just so different. But other things we talked about, gels that help with implementing drug delivery into the system subconjunctivally, and then antifibrotic substances that use at the time of surgery. So we were able to touch on a lot of different types of products and different modalities on how to get those to the patients. I think, Courtney, what are your thoughts? How did you think the session went?
So I thought it was really great. For the first time, we've talked about sustained release drug delivery, and one of the companies actually offered a new pharmacologic outside of a prostaglandin. So they were talking about using timolol as the active ingredient, which is really exciting to see some variation there. We mentioned QLS-111, which is Qlaris, with a topical drug that lowers episcleral venous pressure. So when we need more lowering above and beyond MIGS, we can add a topical agent with a great side effect profile too. So pretty exciting.
Yeah. And I think also one other thing was we talked about nicotinamide. That's a very hot topic with our patients right now because they actually have heard about it. They come to us, they ask about it, for me as well anyways. And there was a whole review and summary on the nicotinamide trials. So I thought that was really interesting as well.
Of course, one of the things we're hearing throughout Glaucoma 360 is how procedural intervention is reshaping the treatment of glaucoma. So in recent years, what drug delivery innovations have been the most impactful in your practice? So Dr. Bovee, let's start with you.
So for me, over the past, 6 years now, I've been really successful in putting drugs in the eye where they belong for so many different reasons. So we've had great success with Durista. We've had great success with iDose. Today, we heard about two new companies that offer different platforms. So I think the future is really, really bright. Just 2 days ago, iDose got the repeat administration indication. So lots of promise exists just for kind of more flexibility and to extend that pathway of maybe drop-free glaucoma control.
Dr. Bedrood, how about you?
Yeah, in my practice, I am moving more and more into sustained delivery, into talking to patients about the possibility of them not having to use the drop themselves. So I use Durista, I use iDose, I use both of them where appropriate for patients. And I think as we evolve, as better and even more innovative things come out to the market, we can really implement that into the system so that this idea of the patient implementing 2, 3, 4 different bottles, that may be a thing of the past. I hope so anyways.
I love to hear that. And I'd love to hear your clinical experience and how you've made this change in your practice and what the patient experience is, right? How are they experiencing that? What's different for them?
I can speak to that a little bit. making a change, a paradigm shift is not easy. It is always something that you kind of dip your little toe in. You're like, how do I talk to this patient about it? Once you start the conversations and once you see the results, to be honest with you, then it becomes so much more easy. It becomes easier. What I do is I tell the patients that first line treatment, what I think it should be, which is SLT and then a sustained delivery drug after that. And they're very open to it. If they hear from me that I have confidence in what I'm presenting to them, then they are more open to using it and getting that kind of treatment from me.
Dr. Bovee?
So I think patient expectation has naturally risen as we evolve and technologies improve. And I think that it's interesting because sustained release drug delivery can provide those better outcomes with stable disease over time. A lot of times the companies can't always talk about that kind of above and beyond results outside of just pressure lowering, but things we see, and I won't say take a picture of your patients, are improved ocular surface. They feel better. They look better. So many times their wallet might be a little bit fatter because they're not dealing with copays because this falls under their medical part of their insurance. So lots of different benefits. And I think, as we continue to grow, the patient feedback, like Dr. Bedrood had mentioned, really kind of motivates me to continue providing these technologies for my patients.
All right, let's look out into the future, 5, 10 years from now. What do you think that treating glaucoma is going to be like compared to now?
Hmm. I think it's going to be in-office procedures, longer acting drugs. I think less reliance on drops for sure. And I think that we'll take the interventional approach. So that's earlier in the disease process. And we can save the kind of the bigger surgeries for later. I mean, I think we're trying to do that now, but I think 5 years from now, that should be implemented in.
Dr. Bovee?
I think, I really commend this meeting and the Glaucoma Research Foundation because one of the things that we try and do is how do we use better diagnostics, better education, and better therapies to kind of make this whole experience patient-centric. And when I was in training, that was not the way care was provided. It was, I'm the doctor, you're the patient, we need to lower pressure. Now we can incorporate that patient experience and really kind of meet the patient with good results.
Fantastic. Well, thank you both for joining us today and sharing all that excitement from your panel and your insights from your clinical practice.
Thank you, Carey.
Thank you for joining us. For more information about the Glaucoma Research Foundation, visit glaucoma.org.